श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतान शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजनीवती धीनामवित्रयवतु। गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय। ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यवौतो तैषवे नमः। नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यामुदते नमः। यात इषुः शिवतमा शिवं बभूवते धनुः शिवा शरव्या यातवतया नो रुद्रमृडया याते रुद्रशिवा तनोरघोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तनुवाशन्तमया गिरिशन्तापि चागशी यामिषुं गिरिशन्तहस्ते बिभर्षस्तवे शिवां गिरित्रतां कुर्माहि पुंसीः पुरुषं जगत् शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशा चावधानसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगत् यक्ष्मगुं सुमना असत् अद्य वोचदति वक्ता प्रथमो दैव्योऽभिषक् अहीदस्य सर्वान् जम्बयन् सर्वाश्रयातु धान्यः असौ यस्ताम्रो अरुण उत बभ्रुः सुमङ्गलः ये क्षेमागुं रुद्रा अपितो दिक्षुश्रिता सहस्रशो वैशागुं धेनयीमहे असौ यो वसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उतैनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहार्यः उतैनं विश्वा भूतानि सदृष्टो मृडयातिनः नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीरुषे अतो ये अस्य सत्त्वानोऽहं तेभ्यो करन्नमः प्रमुञ्च दन्वनस्त्वमुपयोराड्नियोज्याम् याश्च देहस्य इषवः पराता भगवो वप अवतत्यदनुष्वगुं सहस्राक्षशतेषु ते निशीर्य शल्यानां मुखा शिवो नः सुमना भव विजृम्भणुक्तपर्दिनो विशल्यो बाणवागुम् उत अनेशन्नस्येषव आभुरस्य निषङ्गतिः याते हेतिर्मीदुष्टमहस्ते बभूवते धनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्त्वमयक्ष्मया परिपूजा नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधाय नातताय धृष्णवे उभाभ्यामुदते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् वृणक्तु विश्वतः अतो य इषुधिस्तवारे अस्मन्निधेहितम् नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्रयम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं
सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ श्री भगवान् सत्य साई बाबाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सत्य स्वरूपाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सत्य धर्म परायणाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् वरदाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सत्पुरुषाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सत्य गुणात्मने नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् साधुवर्तनाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् साधुजन पोषणाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सर्वज्ञाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सर्वजन प्रियाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सर्वशक्तिमूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सर्वेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सर्वसंगपरित्यागिने नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सर्वान्तर्यामिने नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् महिमात्मने नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् महेश्वर स्वरूपाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् पतिग्रामोद्भवाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् पतिशेष निवासिने नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् यशकाय श्रीनिवासिने नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् ज्योति आदि परिसोमपाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् भरद्वाज ऋषि गोत्राय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् भक्तवत्सलाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् अपादरात्मने नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् अवतार मूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सर्वभय निवारिणे नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् आभस्तम्भसूत्राय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् अभयप्रदाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् रत्नाकर वंशोद्भवाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् शिरडी साई अभेद शक्ति अवताराय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् शंकराय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् शिरडी साई मूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् द्वारकामाई वासिने नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् चित्रावती धरपुट्टपति विहारिणे नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् शक्तिप्रदाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् शरणागत त्राणाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् आनन्दाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् आनन्ददाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् आर्तत्राणपरायणाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् अनाथनाथाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् असहाय सहायाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् लोकमानवाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् लोकरक्षापरायणाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् लोकनाथाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् दीनजनपोषणाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् मुक्तित्रयस्वरूपाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् मुक्तिप्रदाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् कलुषविदुराय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् करुणाकराय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सर्वाधाराय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सर्वहृदयवासिने नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् पुण्यफलप्रदाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सर्वपापक्षयकराय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सर्वरोगनिवारिणे नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सर्वबाधहराय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् अनन्तरत्ने नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् आदिपुरुषाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् आदिशक्तये नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् अपरूपशक्तिने नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् अव्यक्तरूपिणे नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् कामक्रोधध्वंसिने नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् कनकाम्बरधारिणे नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् अद्भुतशय्याय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् आपद्बान्धवाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् प्रेमात्मने नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् प्रेममूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् प्रेमप्रदाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् प्रियाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् भक्तप्रियाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् भक्तमन्दाराय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् भक्तजनहृदयविहाराय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् भक्तजनहृदयालयाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् भक्तपराधीनाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् भक्तिज्ञानप्रदीपाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् भक्तिज्ञानप्रदाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सुज्ञानमार्गदर्शकाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् ज्ञानस्वरूपाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् गीताबोधकाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् ज्ञानसिद्धिराय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सुन्दररूपाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् पुण्यपुरुषाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् फलप्रदाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् पुराणपुरुषाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् अतीताय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् कालातीताय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सिद्धिरूपाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सिद्धसङ्कल्पाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् आरोग्यप्रदाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् अन्नवस्त्रदाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् संसारदुःखशेखराय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सर्वाभीष्टप्रदाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् कल्याणगुणाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् कर्मध्वंसिने नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् साधुमासशोभिताय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सर्वमंगलसम्बन्धाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् साधुमांसपरिशोधकाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् साधुकानक्रपृष्ठाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सकलसंशयहराय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सकलतत्त्वबोधकाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् योगीश्वराय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् योगीन्द्रवन्दिताय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सर्वमङ्गलकराय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सर्वसिद्धिप्रदाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् आपनिवारिणे नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् आर्तिहराय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् शान्तमूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् सुलभप्रसन्नाय नमः। ॐ श्री भगवान् श्री सत्य साई बाबाय नमः।
गजवदना गजानना गजवदना गजानना गजवदना गजानना गजवदना गजानना गौरी गणेशा विनायका गौरी गणेशा
ईश्वरवितुं महावीर नायनकरान् साक्षात परब्रह्म साई गुरुवंदना सत्य साई
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 गुरु पररंजन गुरु परमेशा गुरु पररंजन गुरु परमेशा गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु महेशा
गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु
Satguru Sai Pati Purisha
Satguru Sai Pati Purisha
Satguru Sai Pati Purisha
Satguru Sai Pati Purisha
Sharanam Namostute Sai Mahesha Sharanam Namostute Sai Mahesha Sakshat Parabrahma Sai Guru Vandana Sathya Sai Guru Pararanjana Guru Paramesha Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Mahesha Satguru Sai Pati Purisha Sharanam Namostute Sai Mahesha Sharanam Namostute Sai Mahesha Sakshat Parabrahma Sai Guru Vandana Sathya Sai
Patishwara Shri Sai Prabhu
Patishwara Shri Sai Prabhu
Patishwara Shri Sai Prabhu
Patishwara Shri Sai Prabhu
Ishwaramandana Sai Prabhu Ishwaramandana Sai Prabhu
Sai Prabhu
Patishwara Shri Sai Prabhu
Patishwara Shri Sai Prabhu
Ishwara Allah Shri Sai Ramana
Shri Sai Ramana
Ishwara Allah Shri Sai Ramana
Shri Sai Ramana
Bhakta Zoroastra Sai Krishna
Zoroastra Sai Krishna
Bhakta Zoroastra Sai Krishna
Zoroastra Sai Krishna
Madhava Mohan Sai Narayana Madhava Mohan Sai Narayana Prema Avatara Prabhu Sai Rama
Prabhu Sai
Prema Avatara Prabhu Sai Rama Patishwara Shri Sai Prabhu
Sai Rama, Sai Krishna, Sai Bhava.
तेजो कृपा वरदा
तेजो कृपा वरदा
तुम हो मेरे भगवान तुम हो मेरे हे अनाथ नाथ साई तुम हो अंतर्यामी
Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. My life is my message, expansion is my life. My life is my message, expansion is my life. My life is my message, expansion is my life. My life is my message, expansion is my life. Season for love, no season for love, no birth, no death. No reason for love, no season for love, no birth, no death. Reason for love, no season for love, no birth, no death. No reason for love, no season for love, no birth, no death. Prema Sathya Ananda, Dharma Shanti Ahimsa. 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 Shri Sai Sathya Sai Prema Sai Jai Jai. Shri Sai Sathya Sai Prema Sai Jai Jai. Shri Baba Sathya Baba Prema Baba Jai Jai. Shri Baba Sathya Baba Prema Baba Jai Jai. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. My life is my message, expansion is my life. My life is my message, expansion is my life. Season for love, no season for love, no birth, no reason for love, no season for love, no birth, no Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food.
राम रहीम साई कृष्ण बुद्ध साई
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 सौराष्ट्र येशु साई महावीर भी हो साई
सौराष्ट्र येशु साई महावीर भी हो साई
सौराष्ट्र येशु साई महावीर
Rama Hare Sai Krishna Hare Sarva Dharma Priya Sai Hare
Rama Hare Sai Krishna Hare Sarva Dharma Priya Sai Hare
Rama Hare Sai Krishna Hare Sarva Dharma Priya Sai Hare
Rama Hare Sai Krishna Hare Sarva Dharma Priya Sai Hare
Allah Ishwara Sai Hare
Allah Ishwara Sai Hare
Allah Ishwara Sai Hare
Allah Ishwara Sai Hare
Guru Nanak Yeshu Buddha Hare
Nanak Yeshu Buddha Hare
Guru Nanak Yeshu Buddha Hare
Nanak Yeshu Buddha Hare
Saurashtra Mahavira Sai Hare
Saurashtra Mahavira Sai Hare
Saurashtra Mahavira Sai Hare
Saurashtra Mahavira Sai Hare
Sarva Dharma Priya Sai Hare
Sarva Dharma Priya Sai Hare
Baba Sarva Dharma Priya Sai Hare
Baba Sarva Dharma Priya Sai Hare
Rama Hare Sai Krishna Hare Sarva Dharma Priya Sai Hare
Sarva Dharma Priya Sai
Allah Ishwara Sai Hare
Allah Ishwara Sai Hare
Guru Nanak Yeshu Buddha Hare
Yeshu Buddha Hare
Saurashtra Mahavira Sai Hare
Saurashtra Mahavira Sai Hare
Sarva Dharma Priya Sai Hare
Sarva Dharma Priya Sai Hare
Baba Sarva Dharma Priya Sai Hare
Baba Sarva Dharma Priya Sai Hare
Rama Hare Sai
Krishna Hare Sarva Dharma Priya Sai Hare
Love, peace, righteousness, and truth.
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 Holy Spirit dwelling in our soul.
Holy Spirit dwelling in us all.
Holy Spirit dwelling in our soul.
Holy Spirit dwelling in us all.
Father in heaven, give us your love. Father in heaven, give us your peace. Love in every mind.
Love in every heart.
Love in every heart.
Love in every heart.
Peace in every mind.
Peace in every mind.
Peace in every mind.
Peace in every mind.
Love here and now. Sweet Jesus Christ the Lord.
Sweet Jesus Christ, our Lord.
Love here and now. Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Love, peace, righteousness, and truth. Holy Spirit dwelling in our soul.
us your love. Father in heaven, give us your peace. Love in every heart. Peace in every mind. Love here and now. Sweet Jesus Christ the Lord. Love here and now. Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Love, peace, righteousness, and truth.
Sai Baba tera naam, Sathya Sai Baba tera naam. अल्लाह साईं तेरा नाम मौला साईं तेरा नाम अल्लाह साईं तेरा नाम मौला साईं तेरा नाम यीशु साईं तेरा नाम बुद्ध साईं तेरा नाम साईं बाबा तेरा नाम साईं बाबा तेरा नाम साईं राम साईं बाबा तेरा नाम अल्लाह साईं तेरा नाम मौला साईं तेरा नाम अल्लाह साईं तेरा नाम मौला साईं तेरा नाम यीशु साईं तेरा नाम बुद्ध साईं तेरा नाम साईं बाबा 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 तेरा नाम सत्य साईं बाबा तेरा
साई भजन वैभवमु साई भजन वैभवमु साई स्मरण जीवमु साई स्मरण जीवमु साई चरण दासुलमु साई चरण दासुलमु साई चरण दासुलमु साई चरण दासुलमु साई शरण साई शरण बंदरमु साई शरण साई शरण बंदरमु साई भजन वैभवमु साई स्मरण चेयुदमु साई चरण दासुलमु साई चरण दासुलमु साई शरण साई शरण साई शरण साई भजन वैभवमु
ओम सहस्रूपा साईशा ओम सहस्रूपा साईशा वेद वेदाता गुणशीला वेद वेदाता गुणशीला सत्य साईशा 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 सत्य साईशा 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 सत्य साईशा ओम सहस्रूपा साईशा वेद वेदांता गुणशीला साईशा 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 सत्य साईशा 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 सत्य साईशा
साईशा साईशा साईशा सत्य साईशा
साईशा साईशा साईशा सत्य साईशा
साईशा साईशा साईशा सत्य साईशा
ओम सहस्ररूपा साईशा Vedamasayami. Sathya supreme, it's Baba's vibhuti. Falling forth in sacred streams, it's prayer vibhuti. So auspicious it is right, it grants liberation. Baba's vibhuti,
His power protects me. Paramam pavitram Baba vibhutim. Paramam
vichitram,
leela vibhutim.
paramata ishtata moksha pradhanam. Baba vibhutim, vedamasayami. Mangalam Gurudevaya, Mangalam Granadayine, Mangalam Parthivasaya, Mangalam Sathya Sai. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Sarah, we have a few announcements today. Join us for the annual Interfaith service taking place today from 4:15 p.m. to 6:15 p.m. the Sai Mandir. Held as part of the Interfaith Week, the event will feature a candlelight procession, multi-faith prayers, devotional singing, and speeches, followed by refreshments. All are welcome. We warmly invite you to join us in celebrating the 100th birthday of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba over 2 divine days, 22nd and 23rd of November, at the Merton Sai Center. Please see the 3-page poster on the notice board for the detailed program of events, and kindly register individually to help us plan this joyous celebration. We will be packing prasadam on Friday, 21st of November at 7 p.m, and we welcome any volunteers who are able to come and help. As part of Swami's centenary celebrations, Merton Sai Center is coordinating UK-wide service initiatives under the Sealing and Desires program, including providing heart valves to the super specialty hospital in Puttaparthi, supporting cataract surgeries, and distributing dry rations to families in Sri Lanka. To participate or learn more, please speak to Brother Raju or contact merton@srisatyasai.org.uk. The National Christmas celebrations will be held on Saturday, 13th of December, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Walthamstow Hall Senior School in Seven Oaks. The program includes Christmas carols and readings, a guest speaker sharing a Christmas sermon on the teachings of Jesus, and a nativity play by Balvikar's children. All are welcome. We will now have a short video of Swami.
అల్లా ఎంచు మహమ్మదీయులు,
Mohammedans call him Allah.
జెహోవా ఎంచు సత్క్రైస్తవులు,
Good Christians call him Jehovah.
పుల్లబ్జాక్షుడనంచు విష్ణు వైష్ణవులు,
And Vaishnavites call him as Fullabjak.
శంభో ఎంచు సేవులు సదా.
Shaivites call him Shambho.
ప్రలాభమున కొలువ అందరికీ ఐశ్వర్యమును, దయను, ప్రేమను అందించి కాపాడేటువంటి దేవుడు ఒక్కడే అని భావించుడి.
We may give him any number of names, extol him as Allah, Jehovah, Vishnu and Shiva, but yet the same God confers plenty,
దైవం
prosperity,
ఒక్కడే.
compassion. God is one.
పేర్లు అనేకంగా ఉంటున్నాయి.
He has many names.
ఒక్కొక్కరు దానిని గురించి ఒక మతంగా స్థాపించుకుంటూ వచ్చారు.
And every religion has got its own
ఈ మతములు
comprehension.
వేరు కాదు.
In fact, they are different. not different.
మతములన్నీ వేరు, మార్గము ఒక్కటే.
Though religions differ, the path is one.
వస్త్ర భేదము వేరు, వస్తువు ఒకటే.
The yarn is one, though cloth seems to be different.
శృంగారములు వేరు, బంగారం ఒక్కటే.
Jewels are different, but gold is one.
పశుల వన్నెలు వేరు, పాలు ఒకటే.
The color of the cows is different, but
జీవ
milk
జంతువులు
is
వేరు,
one.
జీవుండు ఒక్కడే.
Though there are many individuals, but the indweller
జాతి
is same.
నీతులు వేరు, జన్మం ఒకటే.
There may be many of the beings, but the birth is same.
కనుకనే ప్రతి మానవుడు కూడాను తన తత్వాన్ని తాను గుర్తించుకుంటే సత్యము స్మరణకు వస్తుంది.
Therefore, if everyone investigates and inquires to know his true nature, he can experience truth.
Samastaloka sukhino bhavantu. Samastaloka sukhino bhavantu. Samastaloka sukhino bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Jai bolo Bhagavan Shri Sathya Sai Baba Ji ki.
Sai Centre, we would like to humbly welcome you to our annual Interfaith service. We are looking forward to hearing many inspiring speeches from different faiths and also those dealing with the environment and diversity in the London Borough of Merton. We begin, as we do every month during our Bar Vigas spiritual education assemblies, with sacred chants from not only our faith, but sacred chants from many of the world religions that we learn about in our Sai spiritual education classes at the Sai Mandir. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha
Nirvignam Kuru me Deva Sarvakaryeshu
Sarvada.
Om Bhurvubhaswaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhurvubhaswaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat.
Om Bhurvubhaswaha Tatsaviturvarenyam
Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat.
Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Sathya Devaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Sathya Devaya Dhimahi
Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Satya Devaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat.
Om Karagre Vasate Lakshmi Karamatye Saraswati Karamule Sita Gauri Prabhate Karadarshanam. Om Ya Kundendu Tusharahara Dhavala Ya Shupra Vastravrata Ya Veena Varadanda Manditakara Ya Shweta Padmasana Ya Brahma Chuta Shankara Prabhudivir Devai Sada Vandita Sama Padu Saraswati Bhagavati Nishesha Jadyapaha. Om Brahmarpanam Brahmahavir Brahmagno Brahmanahutam Brahmeva Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhinam Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashritaha Pranapana Samayukta Pachami Annam Chaturvidam. Om Karacharana Kritam Va Kayajam Karmajam Va Shravananayana Va Manasam Va Paratam Vihitam Avihitam Va Sarvamedakshamasva जय जय करुणाब्दे श्री महादेव शंभो. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Buddham sharanam gacchami, dhammam sharanam gacchami, sangham sharanam gacchami. Tutiyampi buddham sharanam gacchami, tutiyampi dhammam sharanam gacchami, tutiyampi sangham sharanam gacchami, tatiyampi buddham sharanam gacchami, tatiyampi dhammam sharanam gacchami, tatiyampi sangham sharanam gacchami. Om Ek Onkar Satnam Kartaramur Nirbhav Nirbhay Akara Murat Ajuni Seba Gur Prasad Jap Ada Sach Jugada Sach He Bhi Sach Nanak Ho Se Bhi Sach. Om Namo Ariyantanam, Om Namo Sitanam, Om Namo Ariyanam, Om Namo Vajayanam, Namo Loe Savusahonam, Eso Panchanamo Karo, Sava Bhava Panasano, Mangalanam Cha Savesim, Padamam Have Mangalam, Om Namo Ariyantanam. Om Shema Israel, Adonai Lahen, Adonai Echad. Shema Israel, Adonai Lahen, Adonai Echad. Shema Israel, Adonai Lahen, Adonai Echad. Om Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahu Akbar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanirrahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amin. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Firstly, from the Baha'i faith, we have Dr. Sohail Azlizadeh. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dear friends, good afternoon. I'm going to speak a few words, a few minutes about the topic, which is faith and preserving our planet from the perspective from the Baha'i teachings. This is such an important and such a broad subject that in the Baha'i teachings, as far as I've understood, it addresses it from a fundamental point of view, from the essence of spirituality, right through to the impact of the social impacts, the economic impacts, and the wider impacts that we are having on our planet. It is a connected whole, and hopefully in these few minutes I can present some of the teachings that go towards that. So starting with the reality of the human soul, the Baha'i teachings talk about that this is an entity which is entirely out of the order of the physical creation. It is a spiritual creation. In the writings of Baha'u'llah, the founder of the Baha'i faith, it talks about that the soul of man is the sun by which the body is illuminated, and the qualities and characteristics of the Creator can be seen, but these are all the powers of emanating from the soul. Moreover, it talks about that all the discoveries, the sciences, the arts, the wonders, these are powers of the soul that are exercised in this world, in this physical world. Indeed, it talks about that the soul being the sign of God, that it was the first among all created things to declare the essence of its Creator, and the first to recognize His glory and to cleave to His truth and bow down in adoration before Him. So it is an immensely sacred reality that is within each and every one of us, and it is connected in its origin with the Creator. Now, the soul of man, the Baha'i teachings talk about that it longs to connect with the Creator. And man, in his nature, it has a twofold nature. There is an aspect in man that is drawn to the world, that aspect of attachments, and there is an aspect within him that is divine, that is heavenly. And in that condition, the names and attributes of God are potentially all manifested in him. When the soul of man becomes connected to the power of the manifestations of God, the founders of the divine world religions, then another entity is created. This is the spirit of faith. And it talks about that the power of faith, this entity, the power of faith, which makes the earthly man heavenly and the imperfect man perfect. So whilst there is that power within us, within each and every individual, it is through that connection through the manifestations of God in every age, that spirit of faith, that connection of love is established, and man potentially can emanate the qualities and characteristics of his Creator. Of course, chief among those qualities and characteristics, and it is the power of faith itself, is the power of love. It talks about what a power is love. In the world of existence, there is indeed no greater power than the power of love. When the heart of man is aglow with the flame of love, he is ready to sacrifice all. So, through faith, through the power of love, potentially it is possible for mankind to radiate, to emanate that love to all his brothers and sisters, and for mankind to be united. This is an extremely important point, and it's at the heart, actually, of resolving the various problems that humanity is facing today. Baha'u'llah in his writings also says that the well-being of mankind, its peace and security are unattainable unless and until unity is firmly established. So this unity of mankind in this age, it is fundamental to the varied problems that one is facing. So all the varied problems of this age, when one connects it to the power of the soul, when one connects it to the power of love, exercised, by faith, and the unity that we can demonstrate between human race, then all the problems are actually overcome. Now it talks about that also no man can attain his true station except through his justice. This is an extremely important quality. I will explain a little bit why it talks about that in the Baha'i writings. And no power can exist except through unity. No welfare and no well-being can be attained except through consultation. So it talks about justice, it talks about unity, and it talks about resolving our affairs through consultation. Now, on the theme of justice, at the individual level, what one can see from the Baha'i writings, it talks about that justice, at the individual level, it is the conscience. It is a God-given conscience within each and every individual to be able to tell truth from falsehood. Every individual soul is able to do that. It says that in the sight of God, justice is the best beloved of all things, since it permits each individual to see with his own eyes rather than through the eyes of others. So potentially we have the capacity to exercise that conscience and see what is truth, what is falsehood. Our soul has been given that power. Additionally, at the group level, at the collective level, what that translates to, when we exercise justice, when we exercise fairness, you get unity of thought emerging within the collective, because you are trying to exercise truth. You're trying to distinguish what is truth and what is not the correct way. It says that justice is the one power that can translate the dawning consciousness of humanity's oneness into a collective will, through which the necessary structures of global community life can be confidently erected. So it can translate, if justice, through that motivation of faith, through that motivation and power of the human soul, through connection with the Creator, is exercised, then truth from falsehood in a collective way, can be distinguished, and there can be unity of thought. So the implications for social and economic development are extremely important here. And this is all about the prosperity of mankind then. Because then you start defining progress in different ways. It's not about defining progress it becomes defined based on the well-being of the generality of mankind, not just the narrow privileged, the benefits to the narrow privilege, because justice has to reign there, in discussions, in consultations, in the collective will. If the individual is motivated by the power of love towards his mankind, then consultations, discussions become animated in that way, that you're considering the generality, the benefits to the generality of mankind. In design and planning, key resources, of the planet are being used then that would benefit everybody, not to be wasted, because of certain needs of a few or because of inefficiencies. Everybody would work in development programs, when people, they see that the end objective is to impact the whole community, then everybody would rise up and they would want to lend their assistance and their resources to programs that are going to benefit the whole of mankind, because they see a just end. They see a fair a resolution for everybody in programs. So you get the best out of everybody coming out. And finally, what are the implications for the planet then? Because we can see that in this age, the fallacy is that the nature's capacity to basically provide for the endless demands of humanity, has been rejected. And nature has limited resources. We know that now. It cannot fulfill endless demands of humanity. And also a culture that is attaching itself to all the time acquisition and satisfaction of people's wants is not a satisfactory goal to basically make future guidances and policies. Additionally, economical theories which don't take into account the global nature of humanity, they're also weak as well. We are seeing this in today's age. So the Baha'i teachings, they state that recognition that creation is an organic whole, and the humanity has the responsibility to care for this whole. Welcome as it is a true thing that we are one creation and we are to care for this creation, does not represent an influence which can by itself establish in the consciousness of people a new system of values. It's not enough. The recognition of that is not enough, because you need a motivation. You need an impetus for people to work, that with that motivation they would start to work towards a certain end and to put their efforts and energies towards the protection of creation. Only a breakthrough in understanding that is both scientific, it's based on science, and spiritual in the fullest sense of the terms. So spiritual according to what is the reality of man? What is its objective? Where is it going? What is the spirit of faith? All the above that was discussed will empower the human race to assume the stewardship towards which history impels it. So the destiny of man is really the stewardship of the planet, but through these strong motivations, using the power of science, but also using the motivation that is within us of the spiritual soul. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you to Dr. Sohail for such an interesting and insightful speech on the Baha'i faith. And we'd next like to welcome Mrs. Kamantip Evans for her talk on Buddhism. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to talk about the aspects of Buddhism on environment. Do you have the slides? Okay, right. So the word environment refers to nature, like air, land, surrounding conditions that we work and at home as well, and both of which affect the way we feel and the way we live. And all the actions that we do produce consequences from deforestation, ecosystem, and conflict at home or at work or in society. So the Buddha taught us to be mindful in whatever we do so that whatever we send out will not have a negative effect on other people and also the environment. Okay, can I have the next? Okay. Okay. Now, talking about nature, there are two types of nature: the nature within and the nature without. The word Dhamma, the teachings of the Buddha, means nature. So, the Buddha was born in the forest, He was born, enlightened, and passed away in the forest. And he learned from nature, and whatever he taught is about nature, the nature of the mind and the nature from outside. And so what he taught is that everything is constantly changing, and there's no point of holding on to anything at all. And because things are impermanent and unsatisfactory, and it's not a self, even our thoughts, our emotions, or our own body do not belong to us. And so when we practice and understand all of this, then it allows the mind to let go without clinging. So that's why Buddhists are very grateful to nature, and we try very hard to preserve the nature as much as we can. And because the nature teaches us about the truth of life. Okay. Next one, please. Okay. And so let me show you, talk to you about the 4 aspects of preserving environment from Buddhist point of view. First of all, there are 5 precepts that Buddhists follow. One of the 5 precepts is, which one is that? No harming and no taking life. And because of this, the monks, the Buddhist monks, they are not allowed to cut the trees. They are not allowed to relieve themselves by the river or near the river. They are not allowed to hurt or harm any animals, or when they. So during the time of the Buddha, the monks tend to walk around in the rice paddy fields, and they damage a lot of crops. So the Buddha established rules to make sure that the monks will not go around damaging people's crops, and also the small creatures in the rice paddy. So that's why we have the 3 months rain retreats for the monks. They stay in the temple for 3 months. And because any effects, any damage that we do to even small creatures can affect the ecosystem and a lot of things. So the monks are not allowed to pollute the path with the saliva either. Okay. So the Buddha tried to protect the environment, and all these rules were established to make sure that that's the case. Okay, can I have the next one, please? And the next one is loving kindness. The Buddha taught us to generate loving kindness, because when you send loving kindness to other people, it creates positive energy. And studies show that when you send loving kindness to other people, it stimulates the blood flow to the left frontal brain and makes you very positive. So wherever you are, whether you are in the work environment or in the forest or wherever, when you generate loving kindness, then it creates something positive, and it also comes back to you. And I have a chance to meet the Enlightened One in Thailand, and he spent all his monkhood in the forest until the age of 80 before he returned to the town temple. And he told me that all those years that he spent in the forest, deep down in the forest, he was never been attacked by wild animals because of the loving kindness that he spread all through those years. Next one, please. Okay. So Buddhism also taught us to be economical, and frugality is very much encouraged. So you'll see that the monks' robe, in the old days, during the time of the Buddha, the monks' robe were taken from the corpse that were discarded in the cemetery, and then they will wash the cloth and cut into pieces and stitch them together and make into the monk's robe. And these days the monks do not have to get the cloth from the dead body anymore, but they are allowed 2 sets of robes per monk. and they have to use those robes for 3 or 4 years until they are tattered and torn. And instead of throwing that away, they use it as a rug, as a mat, as a mopping cloth, so no part of the robe will be wasted at all. Okay, so there are some pictures there that we try to make use of everything. Even the kettle in the temple become very dark from, I think, about 30 or 40 years, they still keep on using it. And next one, please. So Buddhism also taught us to appreciate nature. There's Dr. Shivaka, the Buddha's physician. When he was trained in Taxila on how to do the herbal remedy, and before graduated, his teacher sent him out of town and asked him to go and find something that is not medicine. And he went out and he reported back to his teacher that there was none that was not medicinal, and he graduated. And because forest monks in Thailand, they have a lot of knowledge about herbal remedies. So when I went to the forest temple, they took me around to see all these trees and plants, and most of them were can be used as medicine. So when we know that they can be used for medicine, we have that knowledge, so we don't damage those plants or trees. But when we know that, sometimes we become greedy and we try to use too much of that. So we have to be careful and be in the balance that we are not going to replete the nature as well. Okay. Last one, please. Okay, so when each of us follow the teaching of whatever faith that you have, or for us, we follow the Buddha's teaching, so we can live in peace and harmony with the environment. Okay, so that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that wonderful and inspiring contribution. On behalf of Christianity, we ask Dr. Juliet Boyd to come and share her thoughts.
Thank you very much. It's lovely to be back again and see you again. And I'm thinking about preserving our planet, which is very dear to my heart. Well, I like to start with Jesus, who says in St. Matthew's Gospel, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and soul and with all your mind, and you shall love your neighbour as yourself." Now, if we obey those commands, we've got to love our neighbours as ourselves. And at the moment, we're not really doing that. We're putting our neighbours in parts of the world, they're suffering because of our lack of preserving the planet. So I think, as the Baha'i people were saying, that love is very important, and loving your neighbours and the future generations, because they're the ones who are going to suffer if we don't care for the planet. So I think love is at the basis of everything, and I'd just like to read you another bit of the Bible, which is from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians, chapter 13. If I speak in the tongues of mortals and of angels, but do not have love, I am... Thank you. And do not have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away all my possessions, and if I hand over my body so that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind, love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. As for prophecies, they will come to an end. For tongues, they will cease. For knowledge, it will come to an end. For we know only in part, and we prophesy only in part. But when the complete comes, the partial will come to an end. When I was a child, I spoke like a child, I thought like a child, and I reasoned like a child. When I became an adult, I put an end to childish ways. For now, we see in a mirror dimly, but then we will see face to face. Now I know only in part, then I will know fully, even as I have been fully known. And now, faith, hope, and love abide, these three. But the greatest of these is love. And I think if we love our neighbours as ourselves, we will be doing all we can to save the environment for them and future generations. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Juliet, for that interesting speech on Christianity. I would now like to welcome Dr. Mahesh Narayan Uncle for a speech on Hinduism. And just a side note, he was actually one of my teachers very recently, and I think he's definitely a really interesting man, probably one of my favorite teachers who taught me all about Hinduism. So I think you're going to enjoy this speech.
Respected elders, brothers and sisters, welcome to this wonderful evening. I'm going to start off with the Hindu perspective from philosophy about the creation itself. And Vedas, that is the oldest scripture known to mankind, which was created even before there was any written script. So it is taught by word and by listening. That's how we learn it. The Vedas very clearly say, Ishavasyam idam sarvam. The world, the entire cosmos is pervaded by the Lord. It's not as if God is separate from His creation. The creation is actually the vesture of the Lord to proclaim His glory. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. Then there is another verse from the Chandogya Upanishad that says, Sarvam khalvidam brahma. All this entire cosmos is verily God Himself. It arose from God, it is sustained by God, and it goes back to God. Sarvam jagaditam tvatvo jayate, sarvam jagaditam tvattas tishtati, sarvam jagaditam tvailayam ishyati. So everything is that we see is God Himself. Then we go to the Mahabharata, where there is a part where 1,000 names of the Lord, the universe, the omnipresent Lord who is called Vishnu, which means, the word itself means omnipresent. The very first name is Vishwam, which is this universe. The Lord is this universe. So that is the extent of the relationship between the Lord and the creation. They are not separate. They are not distinct entities. We have spoken about the philosophy. Every religion has got three components. There is a philosophy, there is a myth. By myth, I don't mean unbelievable story. That is what the common understanding of the word myth is. Myth in the more classical sense. Myth as in a narrative of a religious belief or a belief system. And going back to that, it says very clearly, the divine Lord incarnates from age to age. When righteousness is not being practiced, unrighteousness is on its ascendant. When the good are suffering and the bad are taking the upper hand, that basically the demonic nature in man comes up. The demonic nature, just as we have said, divine is within each one of us. There is a bit of demonic forces within ourselves, which manifest as lust, anger, greed, envy, arrogance, and this delusion that everything is mine. These are my people. I am just this physical body. That arrogance, that is the demonic nature. And if you just turn around and look on the wall on top, you will see the very third statue, where you can see in on the nose of the boar, that is the boar incarnation, is the globe, the planet. So, and that is a depiction that is over 2,000 years old. The Varaha avatar, the Lord coming down to save the planet Earth. I see that is the topic for today. There's an interesting fun fact. Even 2,000 years ago, they did not depict the Earth as a flat piece of land. It was a globe. So here we are, the Lord himself incarnates in order to protect this planet. We have only one planet. I know there are billionaires who are planning to go to Mars, and good luck to them. We wish them bon voyage and speedy returns. But the demonic nature that rapes and plunders the resources of earth without any consideration of the damage it is doing. And when you go through the Puranas, that are literature which have a lot of myths and legends and stories, they talk about what the cataclysmic phase is like. And some of the things that I'm going to say, I'm sure you'll be able to relate to. The rising sea levels, the warming up of the seas, the natural calamities of earthquakes and volcanoes, the darkening of the skies where you cannot see the sun, the inability to breathe, when people and animals are struggling to breathe even. Does that sound familiar to the pollution that we are going through in this planet today? And that happens when the demonic forces start taking the upper hand. When man in his greed and avarice does not think what damage he is doing to this planet. And this is the time when the Lord appears. He manifests himself in order to protect the good, to punish or teach the wicked a good lesson. Then we come to the third part of any religion. Every religion has got its ritual. Some of it may be very cultural. But if you went next door to the temple, you would notice, and I know we have this in Buddhism as well, where we go around the shrine. I know I've been to Fatima, and I remember going around the shrine of Fatima as well, circumambulation. The Hindu does a circumambulation with the clear understanding that just as the planets revolve around the sun, our lives revolve around God. So there is an intimate relationship between what we see in nature and in the religious ritual as well. The Arathi that the priest shows, that is waving of the camphor and the incense and the flower and everything, those represent us offering to God the 5 elements that he has himself created. We believe that nature, all of nature is made of the 5 elements. I know the ancient Greeks talked about 4, but the Hindus had to be one better than that. So they had to have 5. So we have fire, water, earth, and air, and we have ether as well. So these 5 elements are offered back to the Creator in the ritual of the Arathi. If you went to the corner shrine where they have the planets, which you will find quite a few of us going around, again, it is the same circumambulation. The center of it is the sun, and then you have the other planets around. This has been an ancient tradition where we believe that, again, our lives are revolving around God. We will stick to the path of righteousness. The relationship of righteousness and prosperity is very much there in all Indian thought. In the Tamil saying, in Tirukkural, he says, fertility and virtuous living. Fertility of the land, virtuous living, and wealth together, they come hand in hand. By fertility and wealth, I mean exactly as the brother from the Baha'i faith said, it's not wealth for just a privileged few. It is for all. If there is virtuousness, if dharma is being practiced, everybody lives well. If dharma is not being practiced, then that's when the cataclysm starts happening and things go wrong. Sai Baba very beautifully says, nature is the greatest preacher, life is the greatest teacher. We all know the second part is, resonates with all of us. Life is the greatest teacher because we learn life lessons that are so useful for all of us. But nature is the greatest preacher because we learn from nature so much. The very simple act of the sun, which revolves around its own axis at 1,000 miles an hour, causes day and night. It revolves around the elliptical orbit around the sun at 66,000 miles. I'm not doing mumbo jumbo, I'm giving you scientific fact here. It causes the different seasons. So from nature we realize that we can't stop for one moment. We have to be persevering in our good actions, persevering in preserving what has been given to us. And if we truly love God, in whichever name or whichever form we call him, because you are free to call him by any name or any form, they are all paths that go to one God. If we believe in that, then we will not violate nature. We will respect it. And on a humorous note, I would like to tell the sister, Buddhist sister, that I just realized today that my mother was a Buddhist monk in a previous life. My brother's school shorts would be passed on to me, and after me it will be recycled into a school lunch bag, and finally it will be used as the scrub cloth for the house. So she must have been a monk in a previous life. Thank you. Sai Ram.
Thank you once again for that beautiful intellectual speech from one of my very own teachers here at the temple. Now, representing the Ahmadiyya community, we would like to welcome Ibrahim Ahmed to share a few words about faith and preserving our planet from a Muslim perspective.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you all. I want to firstly thank everyone, the organizers, for organizing this beautiful event. It is a great pleasure to be here. In fact, I was given this opportunity by my sister. She was not able to attend, and today she messaged me like this is a wonderful opportunity to get in contact with other beautiful people and learn from each other. So I tried my best to be able to attend, and I was able to come, and I'm really glad to be here. So I want to first of all thank the organizers and everyone who attended today, because it gives me a lot of joy to attend. Thank you very much, first of all. I'm Imam Ibrahim Ahmed from the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, and recently I moved from the Netherlands to the UK. I have been appointed here at our mosque in Southfields, the Fazl Mosque. That's the first London mosque in the UK. And it is for me really important that I, through my faith, be able to help these communities in UK to come together, to learn from each other, and to help to make a better world for our future generations. Because we believe as Muslims that it is really important to live in such a way that we can be helpful to each other, be grateful to God, that is Allah in Islamic terms, and we believe that through worshipping God and helping mankind and taking care of the creation, what God has given us, only through the worship of God we can find satisfaction in our hearts. And also in our mosques, everywhere you will see that it is written, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Ala bi zikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. That means that only in the remembrance of Allah, the heart finds peace. The only in the remembrance of God, the heart finds peace. So being together in a place of worship like today is a great blessing, and I think we should share these beautiful moments also with the rest of the people, rest of the world, that only through prayers the heart finds peace, and nothing else matters in the world technically. So whatever my also co-speakers also mentioned, that worldly things are temporary. We believe in our faith that this is a temporary place. For example, if you sleep, for example, and you wake up and you don't look at the time, then I think no one could ever guess for how long you have slept. Am I right or not? So that's how life passes by. I'm 36, I have two daughters, beautiful daughters of 4 and 6, Safura and Hadia. And I couldn't imagine 10 years ago that I would get married, have two beautiful daughters, but the time flew in 10 years, like that. And before you all know, the time will come that you have to leave this world. And this is what my faith teaches me. Islam teaches that this time is temporary. The body we are using, that is to communicate with each other, to be able to fulfill the purpose why God brought us here. We say God is He's the master, He's the all-knower, He created us, and we believe that we have a purpose in life, and that purpose is to worship God and to create a better world and to be grateful to each other, be friendly, because the world has been here for longer than anyone can imagine. And God has given us so many beautiful people from different backgrounds, from different cultures, so we can learn from each other. Even in the Quran it is mentioned, travel the world and see what I have created. He didn't say that for any random reason. So that is the challenge. So in this world we have challenges. That's what my faith also teaches me. You have challenges, everyone has their own challenges. And God says also in the Quran that I don't burden anyone's soul beyond his capacity. So sometimes I also explain my younger generations, our people, that sometimes you think, or you might think, oh, this burden is, I'm not able to control this burden. But that's not true. Sometimes you have to be grateful what you have. We believe that our faith teaches us that you have to always look down to people who have less. Don't look always up to people who have more. So it is really important to learn from what happened in history, what happened in past, and for our next generations, that we try to make the world a better place and to improve for our next generation, for our youngsters. And linking these beautiful teachings with how we can maintain and make a better world and better healthy environment is that our Islam, our faith teaches that hygiene, for example, is half of faith. And that comes also in this topic of today, that it is really important that we have to keep our environment clean and we have to try to be hygienic. And for example, we use in our mosques, for example, we take our shoes off. Also today, I see this has been a long time that I've been in such a beautiful place. So I'm really grateful again. And I'm learning also from my co-speakers that this is something really important, that hygiene is half of our faith, and we have to try our best to, through hygiene, that we keep ourselves clean. And it has, as well as physical, we believe, if we physically are hygienic, then also it will affect our spirituality. And that's a natural process God has implemented in our creation. So it's really important that we keep coming together in future programs, and I hope to attend many more. And besides that, I want to thank everyone. Our slogan is love for all, hatred for none. And also in the future, we are really local. There's also in Southfields as well as Morden, the Baitul Futu Mosque. You might have heard about our community, so you're most welcome to come. Next week, we have also the Pan-African Peace Symposium in our Baitul Futu Mosque in Morden, so that's on a Saturday next. So you're most welcome also to come and join us for that program and have dinner together. I really hope that we can come together more often and learn from each other and show the world that this is the way going forward, inshallah. May Allah make this program really successful and keep everyone healthy and safe for the future. Amen.
Thank you to Mr. Ibrahim Ahmed for that interesting and insightful speech on Islam. It was definitely very relatable. I'd now like to welcome Sharon Cousins from the local Wimbledon synagogue to talk to us about her faith of Judaism. Thank you.
I'm going to put this down a bit. It's a great pleasure and an honor to be here on behalf of Caroline, Rachel, Judith and Michael. We're very pleased that you invited us and that we were able to come and share this with you. If I might digress just for a second to something personal, this is kind of where two worlds collide for me as a Jew with Indian origins. So my great-great-grandfather left Baghdad in Iraq in the 1870s and went to Calcutta to be a rabbi, where several generations of my family were then born and lived in absolute harmony with their surroundings. There were 55,000 Jews in Calcutta at one time, and Jewish schools and all the infrastructure, and they had wonderful lives, as they told me many times. My mother was the one that came over here, and I was born here. So my mother brought with me amazing recipes and kitchen Hindi, which she and my auntie spoke when they didn't want us children to hear what they were saying. So it's wonderful for me to be here. My Judaism and my Indian background. My grandfather was from Cochin, from Kerala, so it's all very much within me. So I had a think about what I would like to say, and I actually asked my son, who's an RE teacher, and he told me about this story. And it comes from that mystical strand of Judaism known as Kabbalah, and it tells a story known in Hebrew as Shavirat HaKelim that describes a cosmic catastrophe during creation. This myth explains the origin of a flawed material world and humanity's role in repairing it. So this is the story. In the beginning, there was only the Ein Sof, the endless, all-encompassing divine light. This light filled everything, infinite and unbroken. When the Creator decided to make a space for the finite world to exist, the light contracted, pulling back to reveal an empty void. And into this new vast emptiness, the Creator shone a single concentrated ray of light. This light wasn't meant to simply fill the void, it was meant to be structured and channeled. 10 magnificent ethereal vessels, known as the Sephirot, were formed to receive and hold this brilliant raw power. But the light was too intense, too pure, and the vessels were not yet strong enough to contain such overwhelming divinity. A cosmic catastrophe occurred. The divine light pulled in with such force that the lowest 7 vessels were shattered. This shattering of the vessels sent fragments flying everywhere. Most of the original light rushed back to its source, but countless tiny incandescent sparks were captured within the broken shards. These shards, or husks, mixed with the sparks and solidified, raining down to create the physical, imperfect world we live in today. Our world, therefore, is not a perfect creation. It is a broken one, born from a mishap. It is a place of duality where the mundane husks obscure the hidden divine sparks within everything: a stone, a tree, another person, a good deed. And this is where humanity's sacred task begins. We were put here with a purpose. In Hebrew, we call this tikkun olam, the mending of the world. Every act of kindness, every moment of learning, every choice for good helps to free a trapped spark from its husk and raise it back towards its divine origin. We are all the stewards of this scattered light, tasked with gathering the pieces until finally the world is fully restored and the light can shine whole once more. Thank you.
That was truly a thought-provoking message from Sharon. Now we would like to welcome Ali Wallace from the Wimbledon Quakers to inspire us with her contribution.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm Ali Wallace, and I'm a Quaker. All ages are welcome to our Quaker meetings for worship in Wimbledon and elsewhere in the world. On Sundays, 10:30 and other times, we celebrate that of God in everyone. And I know that's the case for all of our religions. Yes, we celebrate that of God in everyone, even the murderers, that of God in everyone. Anyone can speak at our meetings, or what we call give ministry. Quakers is a sort of mocking nickname for us way back years ago, because we literally quake in the presence of God, and that is when we want to speak. You know, if your heart shakes and your body maybe quakes a little bit, and that's where Quakers come from. Nothing to do with oats, by the way. We have nothing to do with the oats. Except they've used our name because it has a moral and honest sort of image. I think that's why. We all find our own faiths, don't we? We're either born into a faith, or we find it in a later period in our life. And for me and my husband, Stuart, we found Quakers when we had our children, our 2 daughters, and we were looking for a spiritual community to support us. He'd also been to a Quaker school in the Lebanon, in Beirut, and he remembered it from a young age and wanted to find it again. Our love of creation is like the Buddhist, the Hindu, the Jewish religion. And frugality for us too is important. So I'm just going to read something very briefly, which I'm going to try. I've tried to learn it off by heart. And then we're going to have a few minutes of silence, because Quakers really love silence. Don't we all? But it's so hard, isn't it? Silence is so hard. But it's a really wonderful time to chance to hear God speaking to us. This book is Quaker Faith and Practice, and we have it on the table at every meeting around the world, all around this country particularly, and the Bible as well we have. So you can pick it up and read it at any time. Try to live simply. A simple lifestyle, freely chosen, is a source of strength. Do not be persuaded into buying what you do not need or cannot afford. Do you keep yourself informed about the effects your style of living is having on the global economy and environment? We do not own the world, and its riches are not ours to dispose of at will. Show a loving consideration for all creatures and seek to maintain the beauty and variety of the world. Work to ensure that our increasing power over nature is used responsibly, with reverence for life. Rejoice in the splendor of God's continuing creation. We'll now have a short silence, and then I will shake hands, and I'd like you to shake hands with each other. That's what we do at the end of our meetings for worship. With each other, that would be lovely. The person beside you.
Thank you, Ali, for that really insightful and interesting speech. We will now end with two speakers from the London Borough of Merton. First, I'd like to welcome Rob Potter, who is our Climate Engagement Officer. If you could come.
I don't know if this is that all right? The perils of being too tall, eh? Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm Rob. I am the Climate Engagement Officer for London Borough of Merton. So my role entails a couple of things, really, which is one, showcasing what the council's doing about climate change, and then the second one is trying to support communities to take action where they can. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about those in a second. But before I do, I kind of wanted to just reflect a little bit on, I've been in post for about a year now. If you can't tell from my accent, I'm not quite from round here. I'm from Manchester, so I've been in London for a year, and it's been absolutely lovely to kind of see the progression of this kind of topic in the faith space over this year. So I think it was probably about a year ago, I was at Wimbledon Synagogue for Interfaith Week doing a similar sort of thing. listening to lots of different faiths talk about environmental stewardship, and now here today kind of doing something really similar. And it shows that faith and climate are really intertwined. And as well as clearly it comes out in scripture from all different faiths, what I've been able to see in that year and speaking and working with lots of different faith groups is faith plays such a central part in communities, and they play such a central role in sort of conveying that message to their communities. So I'll talk a little bit more about kind of faith and climate specifically later on. The one thing I wanted to kind of say was I'm definitely not going to be able to cover what is climate change in 10 minutes. It's quite a complex thing. And I imagine a lot of people will kind of come at it from different angles and in terms of understanding. I know quite a few people in here who are definitely sort of more towards the David Attenborough end of the scale. But if you're kind of sat there thinking, I actually don't feel like I know what climate change is, just kind of want to reassure you that that's absolutely fine as well. And it's something that, you know, people have very different understanding about. And if there is time for questions or grabbing me afterwards and you think, oh, I've got something that feels like a bit of a silly question, it's not, trust me. Someone else will be thinking that and having that question. So just come and ask me. There's plenty of other smart people in the room that have probably got better answers than me. Just ask. Someone else is probably thinking that. In terms of what is climate change, just briefly, it's a long-term shift in average weather patterns, right? So in fact, climate change itself is actually a natural phenomenon, but it's massively increasing because of human activities. So what I kind of wanted to do today was, obviously it's a little bit different to kind of faith interpretations, but hopefully you'll go away today with some sort of ideas if you kind of want to get more involved. I've heard lots about how faiths want you to take care of the environment. Hopefully from listening to me, you might have some ideas about how you might do that and how faith can play a role in that. So next slide, please. So what I wanted to say is give a bit of an overview of what we're doing as the council. I've got some little leaflets I can give out to people if you want to see them. And it basically gives a bit more of an overview of what I'm about to go through. But we produce this every single year, and it just gives a summary both of what the council's doing about climate change on a range of topics, but also it covers what you can do on those same topics. So I'm just going to give a little bit of an overview of those. One thing I want to say as well is this space is full of so much jargon. So when people are going like, and I'll probably use the word retrofit or circular economy, I will try my best to explain if I use those jargonistic terms, but please call me out if I don't. Because a lot of the time I work in this space every day, I'm presuming people know what I mean, and I shouldn't make that presumption. So the first one on there was about the circular economy, starting off straight away with a buzzword. Now circular economy basically means trying to stop wasting things in the first place, and we've heard from lots of different speakers about that today. I think we have a bit of a mindset of like, it's fine, I can recycle that, and that is great, but it's about not using as much in the first place. Now, one thing that we do every year is run a Community Climate Action Fund, and we're currently reviewing applications for that this year. It's £166,000 that we give out to community groups to run projects that are all inspired and launched by the community, basically. And a number of the ones that we've funded in the past are about that kind of circular economy idea of not using waste in the first place. So we funded one in the past by the Polish Family Association, and that involves to do with kind of food and giving that out to the community, but they also have a bike repair hub, so if you've got a bike, you can go and get it fixed rather than buying a new one. We also have funded the Pre-Love Studio, which some of you may have used in the past, which is based at Cannon's House in Mitcham. Little plug for that if you've not been before. It's a beautiful, beautiful building. And basically there you can learn how to fix textiles. They do sewing classes for beginners. So that's another one that we've funded before. And the final one I wanted to mention on that is repair cafes. I don't know if people are familiar with that kind of concept. Basically, at a repair cafe, if you've got something that's broken, they will try their best to fix it. But the best part about the repair cafes is they kind of show you what they're doing at the same time. So it's not just, I'll do that for you. They break it into parts and kind of break it down so you can do it yourself in future. The next thing I wanted to mention, retrofit. There's another buzzword. There we go. So retrofit, what does it mean? Essentially, it means making changes to a building to try and make it more energy efficient. So that when you've heard the word insulation, something like that, that's an example of retrofit. You're trying to keep the heat in during the winter so you don't have to lose excess heat. Or when it's warm, it also keeps the building cool. So on retrofit, there's a couple of things worth mentioning. Again, me with my leaflets, I've got a couple of different things here. One of them is a loan scheme. So if you're a homeowner and you're interested in having works like solar panels, insulation done, we do have a loan scheme available for that. And again, I've got lots of leaflets if people want to have a look at that. The other one I want to mention is something we've just launched, which is for businesses. So businesses in the borough that are able to take advantage of this, they'll get a free energy audit. So basically someone will go around, have a look at the building premises and say, this is where you could make savings on your energy bills. And then we will provide match funding as the council for up to £15,000 to implement those measures. So again, both of those are here, if anyone wants to kind of have a look at those and they're of interest for afterwards. The next one I wanted to mention, a little bit more dull, is planning. Just as important though, would like to clarify that for my planning colleagues who would tell me off if I didn't say that. Basically, if someone puts in an application for new development, it just means that it has to fit that kind of mould of the building is energy efficient. Rather than us having to go later down the line and spend money on it then, it's doing it in the first place. The next one, transport. You might have noticed that some new electric vehicle charging points are going up across the borough. That's kind of being widespread. The other thing that I wanted to mention is we've currently got a walking and cycling strategy out, and we're looking for people's views on that. So if you haven't already contributed, please do, because it'll inform that walking and cycling strategy moving forwards. Next one we've got is greening and green infrastructure. And everyone is, I think that's something that resonates right across the board, is how important our green spaces are, protecting those green spaces. So we're planting 1,000 new trees across the borough. Does anyone know what a sustainable urban drainage system is? I can see a couple of hands up. So that is, if you ever see the acronym SUDS, that's what that means. And a rain garden is an example of those. I mentioned Cannon's House before. Lower Green West is very close to Cannon's House. And on the corner there, it used to be quite a grim, just bit of road. Wasn't very nice to look at. The last couple of months there's been some partnership working where there is now a rain garden in there. And essentially surface water flooding and water that comes from excess rain goes into that rain garden, and then it's filtered and trickles down into the sewer systems. So it means that those gullies are less blocked. That's basically what a sustainable urban drainage system is. So there's plenty of those going on across the borough as well. The next one is about our estate. You may have heard that we are building the first council homes in a generation. So there's 93 council houses being built. But again, as I said before, it's really important that we build those with those kind of energy efficient principles in mind from the get-go. And that's another, so many jargon words. Passive house. If you ever hear that word, that's what it means. It's making sure those buildings are energy efficient. So those homes are being built under those principles. Next one, procurement. I'm full of jargon today. It's basically just buying things. So as the council, we work with loads of suppliers, and we need to make sure that those suppliers are on this journey with us as well. So we're currently piloting a new tool, which means that every single thing that we buy in through the council, people have to take decarbonisation and trying to mitigate climate change into that purchasing process. Comms. Now that's my role. So there's loads of different stuff within communications. We're not very good at the council, I know that, about talking about what we do. So here I am trying to tell you a little bit more about it. But also my role is about engaging with groups like faith groups. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our Faith and Climate Action Group shortly. But this work stream also involves working with schools. So we run a Green Schools Network. We've got 30, 40 different schools, and all schools are welcome. And we basically try and help schools to tackle climate change within their own setting, kind of giving them the chance to share between each other. Similar sort of idea with the faith group too. The last little thing I wanted to mention, as Asher is here, is our Merton Climate Action Group. So Merton Climate Action Group, all these kind of ideas that I've mentioned, ones that have received funding, they have come through Merton Climate Action Group. So if you've kind of got an idea of, I'd love to see this project happen, that's what the Merton Climate Action Group is for. Asher is our wonderful volunteer engagement lead, and I'm sure she won't mind me saying that she'd be happy to speak to you about any ideas that you do have. Next slide, please. So that's enough of me talking about what the council's doing. I wanted to give you some kind of ideas for what you might be able to go away and do yourself if you're feeling like, okay, I know that my faith group is and my scripture is talking about this, but actually I'm not sure what to do. So green economy, I've mentioned a couple of things in terms of a repair cafe and getting those fixed. Another one to mention is the library of things. I don't know if people are aware of the concept of a library of things. There's one in the library in Morden, and basically, rather than you buying something new, say you wanted to work on the garden for a day, spending a fortune, then never using that tool again, you can rent that tool from the Garden of Things for a day. It's not being used that much at the moment, so we want to kind of try and push that out a little bit more. Dead easy to use as well. Just come into the Civic Centre, have a look at all the different stuff we have available for that. What else have I got? Building energy, I've mentioned kind of a couple of different things you can do there. We do also have some guidance, so if you're not a homeowner but you're kind of interested in looking at how you can make where you live a bit more energy efficient and also saving money on your bills at the same time, we do have some guidance on our website to help you with doing that. Next one is transport. You may or may not be aware you can get free cycling training as a child or an adult in the borough. So if you're looking to kind of improve your skills in that sense, would really recommend having a look at that. Also with the electric vehicle charging points that I mentioned before, we're taking consultation at the moment. So if you're really interested in it and you don't have a charging point nearby, you can request for one of those to be put in near where you live. Next one is Green in Merton. I imagine lots of people in this room will already be involved with friends groups and things like that. There are countless number of friends groups that you can get involved with. There's also Merton Garden Streets that work to put planters out on various different streets and get involved with either of those. And I've already mentioned Merton Climate Action Group. So if you've got any of those kind of ideas and you want to speak to me about it, please do come and find me afterwards. And then last slide, I think. Faith and Climate Action Group. So as I say, I've been in this post for about a year, and it became really obvious, and Asha kind of really pushed for this idea, and I'm so glad that you did, Asha. We now meet every kind of quarter or so, I think we've had 4 meetings since January 2025, and the idea is similar to this really, to bring lots of faith groups together, to share ideas, talk about what we're doing in the climate space. It might be building related, it might be something around teaching your community how to cycle. There's another example in Brent Council where they kind of put together a recipe book based on all the different faiths and the kind of food that they cooked and that global perspective as well. So that's kind of the idea behind the Faith and Climate Action Group. And if you're sat there thinking, I'm not a part of this and I'd really like to be, please come and find me because we'll make sure that you are added to that. I know I've got a few of my members in the audience today, so hello to you. Thank you very much for all your contributions. That's me. If anyone's got any questions, my email address is also on there. I'm very happy to take questions on there too. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us and providing such insightful information. We now welcome Hugo Chu, who's the Consultation and Engagement Officer from the London Borough of Merton, to share us about his thoughts and the work that he's been doing within our community. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. Councillor, religious leaders, community members and friends and colleague, thank you for inviting me. Actually, when I was invited to this event, I thought I was just talking to the leader before the event, but somehow I made it to the speakers list. So actually I haven't prepared anything. But if you have received the leaflet, that is something that I would like to talk about. But actually, so please bear with me for this kind of presentation. It will be very brief. But actually, today's sharing has kind of reminded me of a personal experience, because if you are interested in climate and faith, you might know that COP30 is happening now in Belém, Brazil. And I had the privilege to go to COP28 in Dubai in 2023. And that year was, I think, 10 years after the Paris Agreement was being signed. So everyone was talking about how well we're doing, how much we have done after the Paris Agreement. So you can imagine everyone was pulling out numbers, scientific proofs. It's like 1.5 degree, I have 5,000 tons of carbon dioxide emitted, and I've saved this amount of biodiversity. But it was also the creation of one panel, the Faith and Climate panel in COP28, that was the new thing, that all the religious leaders, just like the mix we have today, basically around the world travel to COP to give like a presentation or a panel. And I remember walking into that panel and there was no audience member. And I was the only one because everyone was listening to maybe PwC sharing their annual report or President Xi Jinping are going to share about what China has been doing. But only after that panel that I realized that basically the conclusion of the panel is that scientific reasonings are not good at persuading people. And they are good at providing us facts, but it is faith that can mobilize most people. And also that there are so many people who are religious in the world right now, and if we can utilize the force of faith, it will be a really good thing for climate action as a whole. And why I talk about this story is because, as in COP28, the faith groups are completely underrepresented. I am the only audience, and I have to leave kind of 15 minutes before that. So it's also a reflection because I'm 2 months into my role now at Merton Council, and currently we're having this engagement campaign, We Are Merton Big Conversation, which we're trying to know the policy priorities and the visions of everyone in Merton. But what I realized is that there are several groups that are very underrepresented. Young people, older residents, disabled groups, and in particular, ethnic and religious communities. So all the leaders here. So I really think that no matter in the climate space or in our daily kind of consultation, religious groups and your force and your ability to mobilize people are really underrepresented. So we're currently trying to extend the existing engagement. So if you have any idea of telling us how we can ramp up our efforts and to reach your communities, please tell us if there are other engagement opportunities like something like this, or informal chats or meetings that our team can go to and go in there and talk to people and understand actually what everyone, and I mean everyone literally in Merton, thinks about the borough and what the borough should prioritize in the future. And if you would like to do the survey, which you are a key opinion leader in this field, so please can I also invite you to scan the QR code on the leaflet and do the survey and tell us what you think. So again, if you have any ideas on how to spread the message and how to help us to engage more people in the religious communities, please do talk to me after this. So thank you very much. Thank you.
We have one more speaker. We have Councillor Shuli Said, who's the Deputy Mayor of Merton and Chair of the Joint Consultative Committee of Ethnic Minorities. I would ask her to please come forward and just give us a little sum up of what she's heard today. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Firstly, sincere apologies that I'm late. So the fact that you're letting me speak is very big of you. Obviously my young colleagues there from the council, brilliant, and you're doing a great job, keep going. A lot of colleagues I know here from the different groups I mix and mingle with, and obviously our joint consultative communities of ethnic minorities, faith belief group. And then Uncle was a big, him and my father, that fellow brother, fellow neighbour. And I stand here today on this special day and a special occasion you invited us. And it gives me great pride to see, you know, with the ethnic group, with our faith groups, how far we've come. Yes, there's still battles, still things that we have to fight for, but we've come a long way. And the beauty is, look at us all sitting together. I think we're a role model for society. My father used to always say, if you do not have respect for other people and other religions, then your faith is no value. And that's something I hold very dearly. So I was really privileged growing up. I grew up with all religions and bar mitzvah celebrated, Diwali and stuff. So I'm absolutely blessed. So thank you everybody for having me here today. Thank you Gita and her gang. They always do a brilliant events here. Came to the last event in August. Oh my God, mesmerised and totally blown away. So no, well done everybody, and hopefully look forward to working with you all together. Thank you.
Our annual Interfaith service during Interfaith Week is always a wonderful and inspiring programme because of all the amazing speakers and other guests who attend. It's a chance for us to celebrate our different faiths and also to share our faith viewpoints with others who have that same loving and accepting attitude of wishing to learn and honour our different faiths and cultural origins. There are many who have worked with us on Merton's Faith and Belief Forum for decades. I can see some here. Others we have only met recently, but have connected immediately as old souls with shared values of love and joy and acceptance. Thank you to all the speakers who have shared and inspired us with their words of wisdom today. To our three young ladies, two of them have gone upstairs for the practice, Ruby, Rashna and Lakshika, who compared with such grace. They have all been through our Sai spiritual education classes here at Merton Sai Centre and are very used to me dropping them into doing things at the very last minute. But I think this has taken the biscuit because thank you for all the patience. I'm going to say to Rashna, for all three, thank you for your patience and the stress I put you through by WhatsApping you during the service. They know me too well, but they always come up and they always do such beautiful, the work that they do, the responsibility they take on, and they are just our pride and joy. Thank you to our audio and live streaming team who are always here to record our important events and special festivals here at the temple, and to our amazing volunteers who are busy organising refreshments for you at the end of the service and after our tour of the temple. In the current world, where there is so much war, heartache, suffering and pain, when we can meet at events like this, share our thoughts and support each other, heart to heart, we can all do something to redress that negative balance. Thank you for taking the time on a Sunday evening to come and meet together to share the positives and not highlight the negatives. Thank you very much. We are now going to go through the doors into our Sri Ganapati Hindu temple, where our operations director, Mr. Ranjit Ratnasingham, will give you a tour, which is requested by Asha, to tell you about the changes that we've made in the temple to make it more environmentally friendly. And then we will be going straight upstairs for coffee, tea, and refreshments after that. Thank you very much.
साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात् ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात् ॐ